We need your support. Click the like buttons below. Now onto the video. Welcome to readtheticker.com. Today we're going to look at Rick Ackerman's hidden pivot point method and how it complements the Richard Wyckoff logic. Well, quite frankly, it's very similar. We have no association with Rick Ackerman, we just studied the content on his website and his videos. Now let's understand, if you're handed a trading system, if 100 people are handed a trading system and it actually works, over a period of time people adapt that system to suit their personalities. So what we learn about Richard Wyckoff, we can learn from others to how to improve applying the logic of Richard Wyckoff. The hidden pivot point method is another way to focus on the markup process out of accumulation. So here's a quick overview of the hidden pivot point method. The hidden pivot point method requires an impulse wave. That's the A to B. And it's best if the impulse wave overcomes previous pivots. So on the downtrend you've got these down pivots here, 1, 2, 3, and the blue dots and the red dot. And if it overcomes previous pivots, that's actually breaking previous resistance. So it's a sign of strength in Wyckoff terms. So it's a true impulse wave. Even the Elliott wave guys can have a look at this. So here he's comparing different forms of impulse waves, the patterns. And obviously this one down here, which is described as very strong, has got a very good base. And here these other ones are more V reversals. These are a bit of a double bottom. So we're looking at how well the impulse wave breaks previous pivots, or breaks into new ground from a low. It's also the hidden pivot point method works in a continuation form as well does the Wyckoff. So you get a breakout from the impulse wave, and then you get a correction, a mild correction of about 25%, and then you have the AB wave turn into a C wave, and he has rules for executing buying into the C wave. And he buys into the C wave as momentum continues on, because he believes, because it's broken so many pivots on the downswing, that the momentum has changed and you're riding the wave higher. The hidden pivot point method is based on a strong impulse wave, proven by how many minor pivots it breaks, or resistance points it breaks on the other side. Now if you look at this chart here, very strong, we're going to compare that to Richard Wyckoff's accumulation logic. Just focus on that. We'll switch over to Richard Wyckoff. Here's a Richard Wyckoff accumulation picture, and here we have the downswing and the minor pivots. We have a base building up. We have a breakout from a sign of strength. We're jumping across the creek, which is a sign of strength. And a pullback, which is the last point of supply. And obviously these dotted little red lines here, they're jumping the creek, so it's breaking resistance. Now Rick's hidden pivot point method is focusing on a minor pullback. So not really a situation where the Wyckoff traders in accumulation, we get a test of the spring down here. It sort of focuses on a minor pullback on the impulse wave. So it's really waiting till the upper range is broken, and then we get a pullback after that. Okay. So there you can see the hidden pivot point method here is really focusing on after it's broken the resistance, and then it does a pullback here. So it's a late stage Richard Wyckoff accumulation breakout. Maybe it gets more success because it's waited till after more evidence has occurred, and then he has execution processes up here. Now the point to understand between the Richard Wyckoff and hidden pivot point method is the Richard Wyckoff method focuses on the psychology and the trading attitudes of going on here of the players. Here we have scared sellers getting out of their position, strong hands buying it up, and at the phase B here we have the process of other sellers slowly letting their position released and the demand coming in, and demand eventually overcomes supply and it marks processes up. The hidden pivot point method focuses on strict rules, breaking out of the range of the trading range, hoping for momentum higher. So if you understand the Richard Wyckoff logic and understand the price and volume patterns and understand the transfer of the sellers to demand, it may help you apply the Rick Ackerman hidden pivot point method. Now, obviously each method complements each other. He relies on strict rules. He doesn't study the volume pattern at all. He doesn't understand, or I don't say doesn't understand, he doesn't refer to the change in demand and supply from those who are selling. He doesn't explain the phase B part. What I suggest is that this very strong pattern here is highly correlated to the Richard Wyckoff logic, and both situations would work well. So let's have a quick look at an example. Here we have the hidden pivot point method, the Rick Ackerman style in red, and we have a quick labelling of the Wyckoff method on the Apple daily trading chart, 16, 17 onto 2018 and obviously now 2019. The hidden pivot point method, we've got the pivots down here, we've got the ABC pattern up here, and Rick Ackerman will be looking for entry around X and taking a profit and riding the rest up here. And the Wyckoff guys will be looking at this. We're saying, oh yes, we've got a bit of a, some sellers coming down there, some scared sellers selling down there. Buyers are coming in, some demand coming in. It's a minor sign of strength there. A little bit of a spring action. Some sign of strength taking up to upper resistance, a minor pullback, a last point of supply. We get a breakout, we get a sign of strength, and we're taking entry points, minor little entry points down to the spring here. And we're adding bigger points here at the last point of supply here as we see the demand take off and adding on up here. So as you can see, the Rick Ackerman hidden pivot point method and the Richard Wyckoff accumulation pattern are very similar. I would just stress that the Richard Wyckoff pattern goes into more understanding of transferring from the sellers to demand, from the uninformed to the informed, from the scared sellers to the informed buyers, and understanding how price and volume action confirms and helps you award a pattern as being worthy of a trade. Now, the Rick Ackerman hidden pivot point method is a tool that's very interesting to apply to the markup process. So if you are keen to research that, I'm sure it's going to help you and then assist with the Richard Wyckoff process. Both are very complementary to understanding the accumulation and the cause and effect pattern of price action. Thanks very much for watching.